New York sketchbook tour. Welcome to Sketching the World. I'm Kat. I'm an artist and writer from Melbourne, Australia. But my dream is to sketch the world. And recently I got one step closer to that with my trip to New York City. I showed a bit of this sketchbook already in one of my previous videos, so we'll just maybe go quickly through the first few pages. So this was the airport before I left with the squat tiny little plane. The plane was actually normal size. It's my picture that makes it look like that. And it's Virgin. And I didn't notice until my sister pointed this out to me. I spelled Australia wrong. I missed the T out. Got me. And this one, yeah, got finished. And urban sketching in Dumbo. But yeah, this is the Brooklyn Bridge. This is Dumbo, that could be the Manhattan Bridge. Then around the streets of Dumbo, this is in marker and colour pencil. Then I went to Red Hawk to Steve's key lime pie. I highly recommend Steve's key lime pie. It was good. And then you walk 2 minutes and got this view, or you could actually take your pie, your key lime pie, and go and sit on the pier and eat it and have the view at the same time. My favourite bit of this picture is the helicopter. I really like how I did that helicopter. This was in the Derwent drawing pencils. It was just after I bought them. I was really loving those Derwent drawing pencils. But yeah, I think also the dark indigo and the Caran. Then another one, same scene, and another one from the pier, but this time looking over the city. Then, yeah, wandering around the city, Central Station. This was, I was sitting across the road and there's this bridge, and then the station, the buildings behind it. This was a building in the street near where I lived. I went to the taco place and I was sitting there sketching. Then my tacos came and the sketch never got finished. Tacos before sketching. So I went to the Hotel Chelsea, very iconic hotel in New York. So many famous people have stayed there. And so I've just always wanted to go there. And I did. And I sat in the bar, sketched all the bottles in the bar and everything, and had a pot of tea. These are some of the other people sitting there. Oh, this one was making me laugh. She was talking really loudly and just saying such stupid stuff, like how she hates watching podcasts. And the guy was almost as bad. And then there was this angry writer guy who kept writing things and then angrily tearing up the paper and throwing it away, even though he was working on a laptop. Oh, I should draw people more when I'm out because they make me laugh so much. This was a building near the Flatiron district. I spent the night in Manhattan and was staying around the Flatiron district and got up early the next morning and did some sketching. I have no idea what this building's called, but yeah, it was fun to sketch. It was actually good. Just walked down to the end of the street from my hotel and there's a park there. Can't remember the name of the park, but they had those like beach chair kind of things and you could just, perfect. I don't know what they're called. You know, the wooden ones that are sort of got the big wooden arms, so you've got plenty of room to put your sketchbook and your sketching material, and very, very convenient. New York is a very convenient city for sketching. Lots of seating, lots of places to just sit down and get your sketchbook out without having to actually go to a cafe or carry a little fold-up stool with you. They have it all there for you. So yeah, this was just the scene from there as well. Then this was when I went on the Highline, walked across the Highline. Highline's, yeah, really nice place to do some walking, but it was so crowded with people. It just felt like, you know, this drudgery, almost walking along it like or marching in a single file. Well, not a single file, people were together, but yeah, I also didn't like it because at this stage my leg was giving me a lot of trouble and I assumed there'd be some kind of accessibility, but no, I had to walk up like it's about 3 stories high, and I had to walk up the stairs. So by the time I got up there, my leg was really, really causing me pain. Thanks, Highline, for your caring about people's mobility issues. So yeah, anyway, enough of that rant. This is one of the sketches I did. I actually sat down and did some sketching. It wasn't just walking. Then I got to where these food carts were. Did this sketch. I really don't like that I did this to the background. I might actually go back over it. Then another one from the Highline was these buildings with a bridge connecting the 2 buildings across the street. Love this bridge. It looked very, very European. Next up, this is when I went to the Natural History Museum. This toucan was my favourite in the whole museum. Look at that cheeky guy. Oh, hey, I'm a toucan, not a toucan, toucan. Then, yeah, just I was sitting there doing some colour pencil sketches. Lots of kids coming and watching what I was doing. I think that they were like, hey, I want to do some sketching too. But yeah, fun. Then this condor, he was so epic. Like, I am condor. I had to write that because that seemed to be what he was saying. Condor, you're cool. Then, yeah, I didn't get to do much more sketching. The dinosaur area and everything's very, very crowded, and also very, like, doesn't have seating that's good for sketching. Like, the seating's sort of looking away from the displays, not at them. But I went into, there's a little area, little lobby area where you can sit and look out over the city, and I was sketching this. The city was actually disappearing into the mist as I was sketching it, but I got this done. Then I went to Coney Island, and this was the only sketch I did on Coney Island. I thought it was going to rain, and I didn't want to have to get all my gear out, and then it started raining, and quickly packing everything up before I got saturated. It didn't actually rain, so I could have done more sketching. But I took lots and lots of reference photos. And with this, I actually put the background in later. I didn't like the sketch. I thought it wasn't working. So a few days later, I was looking at it, and I got some watercolor markers and just played around with the background. And I like it a lot better. I think it's really giving it a lot more, making it look a lot more dynamic, getting that sort of amusement park feel going. Yeah. Okay, this was a cafe near my house. I was just sitting, sketching, having a coffee. Fun times. Then this is the Empire State Building. I really love this sketch because I did the like binocular things that you used to look out over the city, but for some reason it's come out looking like a Muppet. So every time I look at it, I start being like, na 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 na. And these are all the people. I was sitting inside just watching. Then I got on to this sketch, which is again just looking out from the Empire State Building. One of the security guys come over and was chatting to me about my sketch. He was a really sweet guy. Then this, I was just sitting in a cafe drawing the street scene, all the rubbish bags on the street and the construction, everything going on, the truck. So that was, yeah, a really fun sketch. I kept like going out for the day, and I'd get home and think, well, I've only done like 1 or 2 things today. Where did all the time go? Like it sort of sunk into this like oblivion of time. But then I'd realise that, I'm sitting in a cafe doing a sketch for maybe an hour, doing a few sketches. And so that's where my time went. This again, the Derwent drawing pencils with a bit of brighter colour thrown in. I just really love those Derwent drawing pencils. Use them quite a bit. Use them there. Use them not there. Didn't use them there. Use them there. In there. There. I really like the sanguine with this blue, and then, yeah, they just are really lovely. It's very small range of colours in them, but they're colours that all work together so nicely. So yeah, anyway, I haven't finished this sketch. I need to keep doing this bit here with all the bottles and everything. But this was a diner. I went to Elaine's Cheesecake because I'd heard that their cheesecake was really good, and it did not disappoint. It was great cheesecake. And then I sat at the park across the road and sketched this deli. I love all the missing letters on the sign here. But yeah, I didn't get all this finished because I wanted to get moving. Then this was the building across the road from the cafe in, like, there was a really good cafe around the corner from my house, and this building was across the road. I sketched it in my other sketchbook, but I hadn't got this roof in because I hadn't left enough room for it. So I tried it again. Then this is it. I showed this also in my New York vlog. Gouache. This was the only time I used the gouache markers, but they're really good for doing city scenes like this. You can get the shapes in just really fast and then go back in and add the detail. And I kind of like the looseness you get with it. So then, yeah, same day, I did some wandering around. I got on the bus to go home, and the bus, this is why I hate catching buses. The bus went a different way, and then someone on the bus said, oh yeah, it goes this way on Sundays, not the usual way, blah, blah, blah. So I jumped off the bus, and yeah, the diner was there calling my name, come in, eat some pancakes. So I couldn't resist that, and yeah, just love this. Did this, some of this while I was there and some that I did later. But yeah, I really, really love diners with the checkerboard tiles, or yeah, the checkerboard floor. It's just something I love. So yeah, next we get on. This one, I went to Roosevelt Island. I'll probably put that up in one of my vlogs. I haven't done it yet, but I will. And I was looking at the city and it was just so overwhelming. It's like, where do I even start? So I started with a continuous line drawing, blind contour drawing. It's a good thing to do to get over that feeling of just overwhelmed, because yeah, you're not worrying about too much. I mean, you're not looking at what you're doing, you know it's going to come out looking rough, so just go with it. Then I did this second sketch. This was looking, yeah, from Roosevelt Island back over to Manhattan. This is the bridge. I'm not sure what the bridge is called, and I'm not sure what this thing was. It was a big orange tower. Let's just call it the big orange tower. Then these were the roads and the water down here, which I can put in. Then this house. But yeah, every day I'd walk past this house, this building with this tower and everything, and I'm like, I've got to go back and sketch it. And when I first got to New York, I got there at the beginning of October. I got there on 13th of October. And yeah, there was a big tree covering the whole building. So I kept thinking, I'll come back when the leaves fall off that tree so I can see it better. And this is one of the first times I've actually sketched on location standing up. It's a very new thing for me, which could be why it's so rough. Like, you know, standing up and sketching is a whole skill set on its own. But I tried it and I'm not too unhappy with the result. And that was the last sketch I did. I didn't even bother sketching on the plane coming home. I had a terrible flight home and I was feeling really terrible. So I've got a few pages left. And I've got some stuff in the pocket, which is, oh, Empire State Building. Oh yeah, they gave me a postcard at the Empire State Building. So then there was a few other pictures that I did just on loose paper or in my other sketchbook. I've already shown this one in one of my vlogs. This is the Chrysler Building, my absolute favourite building in New York. I love the Chrysler Building so much. It is so pretty. Maybe one of my favourite buildings in the world, Chrysler Building. You are cool. Then this one was at Central Park, looking over at the fountain through the thing. Go and watch my New York vlog and you can see more about it. Yeah. That was fun to do, but because I was inside and it was really dark, and then this outside was glaringly bright, so as I was looking at the fountain and everything outside, And then looking back at my paper, I was actually blind and I'd have to wait for about a minute for my eyes to adjust. So it was very, very difficult sketching that. I took lots of photos. I'd really like to spend some time doing some sketches of the tiles that were on the ceiling. They were really amazing tiles. And then this was, yeah, one of the first sketches I did of the Manhattan Bridge. Really liked those. I was really happy with those. Then I did some sketches in this bigger sketchbook. I kept not taking this out with me though because I needed to have the clipboard to press against, and that was just ended up being not as successful as I thought it would be. But yeah, Radio City Music Hall, done in pencil. I tried to get the sort of, you know, that this was light, shining light, but I'm not sure that that worked. But I would like to do some more with that, play around with it. Then this was at the New York Library. This was, what's it called, Columbus Circle, as you're going into Central Park, food vendors, and the statues at the base of this column, and then the little guys, well, they're not little guys, the guys with their little, what do you call them, moped, pedicabs. Oh, that's so funny. The guy come over, like, do you want a pedicab ride? Started off at like $180. I think he got down to 30 at the end. And later, after I've been walking around Central Park for a while, I really regretted not taking him up on the $30 offer. I popped in one of these buildings over here. It's the Design Museum, and they were having the Taylor Swift News exhibit on. And I popped in because I thought it sounded interesting, but it was $25. And I'm not really a Taylor Swift fan. I mean, I don't dislike her. I've just never really listened to her music much or anything, and don't know that much about her. So I thought $25 was more than I wanted to pay to see her old clothes. But anyway, yeah, that was quite a fun sketch. And I used a combination here of coloured pencil. For this, I used some watercolour markers and actually watercolour blurred them. And then just the blue pencil for the buildings in the background. Then still in Central Park. This was a scene from the park. I really like this sign with the Essex House. And this is all in marker here at the foreground. And then just the blue pencil for the buildings in the background. Also like the shape of this building. This building had steam coming out of it, but I couldn't do that. Mummy about it had some whitewash or something maybe. Not sure why the steam comes out of buildings in New York. Maybe it's from boilers or something in buildings. I do not know. Okay. This is the boathouse at Central Park. I'm not sure if I love this. I used the Sennelier ink pens for this, and that could have been actually what I used here as well, the Sennelier ink pen, maybe. But yeah, I really wanted to get the whiteness of the boathouse against all the colours around it, the autumnal colours. Yeah, not sure if that worked or not. But it was fun sitting there sketching. And that's all I managed to get done in that sketchbook. So that's all the sketching I did in New York. So much sketching. And yeah, I might fill the sketchbook up with some sketches at home. I kind of wish I'd done more on this coloured paper with the crayons now. Because looking back, I feel they're a lot more lively. They've got a lot more energy than my other sketches. Before we go any further, before I go on to part 2 of my sketchbook tour, just remember, if you're enjoying this video, to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. And otherwise, we'll keep going with my New York sketchbook tour. Thanks for watching, by the way. Okay, this is the sketchbook tour, take 2. Well, it's not take 2, it's actually part 2, I guess. It's all the stuff I've done since I've been home to get my sketchbook just to finish it off, play around, get some more stuff working, happening. And yeah, sorry, I'm just clearing up my desk as I'm speaking. So there are a few pictures that I just wasn't happy with. This first bit, yeah, haven't touched any of those. But some of them, didn't finish that. Probably never will. Yeah, so none of this has been... Yeah, sometimes I have trouble turning pages in sketchbooks. This one I put a bit of shadow into and just sort of did some, what do you call it, like adding a bit of depth to the windows, but nothing really major. Didn't touch this one. This one I still want to fix the background on. I'm thinking about getting in there with some maybe acrylic gouache or something to get rid of all that in the background. I hate it. This is one of the ones I put some more work into. I didn't do those bottles on location, but I wanted to add them in there. I also added some shadow to the shop sign, and I think that just really makes it pop. It's gone from sort of being a bit near to popping and really looking like that kind of sign. And I just did a bit more detail in a few other bits and pieces on this. I did go in and do a bit of shadow in this, just I was playing around more than anything. And added a bit of watercolour pencil. Then I went over it with ink rather than with water to activate it. And I just put a bit of shadow in these. This was more not because I felt the sketch needed more, but because I was just sitting here playing around really. And I'm not sure if I did this later or not, but I added shadows in here. Oh, I added that grey tone. Then these were completely new sketches that I did from my photos that I took. I had a bunch of photos from the Museum of Natural History where I wasn't able to sketch on location, but I really loved this dinosaur fish, this other dinosaur. These were all done in, what do you call this, the Chinese brush pen and ink. I've got footage of that. Another dinosaur, then the bird dinosaur, and then this one. And this was from my photos of Coney Island, one of the boats. Still got a couple more pages that may get finished or it might not. But yeah, just thought I would add that to the end of this video so you can see that just because my holiday's over doesn't mean the holiday sketchbook's finished. I don't often go back to the sketchbooks, but because this is sitting on the sketching table, the art table, I have made the effort to go back in and work on stuff.